Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy and in today's video we are filming a big book haul because I have accumulated a lot of books over the last few months and I can't wait to share them with you. I have a huge stack of books here. There's over 20 here and I can't wait to just go on and tell you guys what books I've been getting over the past few months. But first, a word from today's video sponsor, Ana Luisa. So huge thanks to Ana Luisa for kindly sending me some of your beautiful jewelry to showcase in this video today. So let me show you guys a few of the pieces I have been sent. First up are these beautiful earrings. What I love about these is that I really wanted some hoops, but hoops with a difference, you know? So these are like actually an oval hoop and they are just beautiful. I think they really make any kind of clothing item really elegant. They're super lovely. So these are the Cuidado hoop earrings and I just think they elevate any outfit you wear. They look super elegant. I love them. Next item I chose was the Now Opal bracelet. And this is it here. It is the most daintiest, beautiful bracelet. I really like delicate pieces, and also what I love about Ana Luisa is the fact that you can really stack them. So you can wear this with another bracelet, another chunkier bracelet, and it will still look absolutely lovely. As you can see, there's just a beautiful little opal here, which I absolutely love. I think it just looks so simple and so beautiful. The next item I got sent was this beautiful delicate necklace. This is the Vega necklace, and I really wanted something that I could really stack with other necklaces that I have in my collection. So this is another Ana Luisa chain and I just really love how the two work together. They look really beautiful and delicate together. And finally, I was just after some super statement earrings and I picked these up. These are the Michelle earrings and they are like the most beautiful earrings ever. So they are actually a hoop, as you can see. And then of course, they have this beautiful big disc. As my US viewers may know, Mother's Day is coming up in the US. And also if you're in the UK, spring is obviously on the horizon here. So Ana Luisa are running an amazing buy one, get one 40% off sale. You can access that through the link in my description box and that'll take you through to the sale. It is an amazing sale because it means that you can buy a piece of jewelry for someone you love and then get yourself a piece of jewelry for 40% off, which is genius. So please do check out the sale at Ana Luisa and get yourself some of these beautiful items for yourself. So the light is really blinding me. I'm not a fan of this lighting setup, but we're just going to crack on because we have a lot of books to talk about. So if you see a glare on my face, please ignore it. I am being blinded right now. But let's get cracking with the books I received over the past few months. The first one is a proof copy that was kindly sent to me from Del Rey Books. That is an exclusive proof copy of Book of Night by Holly Black. Yes, you heard me correctly. Yes, I'm excited. This is Holly Black's first adult debut. It promises to be dark and magical and I'm so excited because this proof is one of 100 limited proof copies. It's number 63 and this is my most treasured possession now of all time. So thank you to Del Rey for kindly sending me a proof of Book of Night. I need to read this still and I will be reading it very soon, so I just can't wait. I'll let you guys know my thoughts. The next two books I'm just going to haul together really because they're not super new or exciting, but I did pick them up since my last book haul, and they are my copies of House of Sky and Breath. I can't even hold them, they're that big and heavy. This is the beautiful tour exclusive edition, which I got from buying a tour ticket to Sarah's event in February. It's beautiful, it's very simple, and on the back it obviously says "Light It Up," which is an iconic quote from the series, let's just say. I also bought the Waterstones exclusive edition, and of course it has the cover in all its glory. So the next book I kindly was sent from Michael Joseph Books was Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. So this book has been receiving a lot of hype. I think it was Michael Joseph's biggest book of the year. And the tagline says, "We can't choose what we inherit, but can we choose who we are?" It says, Eleanor Bennett won't let her own death get in the way of the truth. So when her estranged children, Byron and Benny, reunite for her funeral in California, they discover a puzzling inheritance. And then it says, spanning 60 years in the life of one family, crossing continents and juggling lives, Black Cake is an extraordinary story of how the inheritance of betrayals, secrets, memories, and even names can shape a family for generations. This sounds super interesting. It has got the most incredible quotes on the back. and I personally just love the cover of this. I think it's fantastic. So this would be the perfect summer read, I think. So I'll be reading this one hopefully very, very soon. The next book I was kindly sent from Hodder and Stoughton, and this is Castles in Their Bones by Laura Sebastian. So this is a fantasy book from Laura Sebastian, who is obviously a brilliant YA author. First off, I just adore the cover. Like, how beautiful is this cover? This is about two princesses, I believe, who have a destiny kind of set out for them. The tagline says, "Never trust a pretty face. Empress Margot has had plans for her daughters since the day they were born. Princesses Sophronia, Daphne and Beatrice will be queens. But now, age 16, they each must leave their homeland and marry their princes. Beautiful, smart and demure, the triplets appear to be the perfect brides. Because Margot knows there is one common truth: everyone underestimates a girl, which is a grave mistake. These daughters aren't innocents. They have trained since birth in the arts of deception, seduction and violence, with a singular goal: to bring down monarchies. And their marriages are merely the first stage of their mother's grand vision to one day reign over the entire continent of Vestria." This sounds incredible. Like, the whole idea of like triplets, like bringing down all the people that they're married to, like all of their nations they're marrying into, is so epic. And I really do hope to read this one soon, because it just sounds like a ride. What can I say? This has already been published for a few months now, so I will leave all links to all the books I mentioned down in the description bar below, but I'm super excited about Castles in Their Bones. Now, the next book I bought was a pre-order that came through, and I pre-ordered this book last year, and I actually read this book. Like, I finished reading it yesterday, so it's very fresh in my mind. It is This Woven Kingdom by Tahera Mafi. This is the Waterstones special edition, and it is a beautiful book. Like, look at this cover, look at these sprayed edges. I am obsessed. Also, I really like the naked jacket. Like, it is beautiful, you know, so big fan of that. What did kind of confuse me was the contents of the actual book. So I will go into this in a reading vlog that I think should have already gone up, so I'll link that down below. But this is a really rich start to a new fantasy series by Tahera Mafi, and it's inspired by Persian mythology, which immediately hooked me in and really kind of interested me from the get-go. But it follows a woman called Alize who has a really interesting past. She is working as a servant, and she is harboring her own secrets about her true kind of destiny and her background, essentially. Like, she knows that she has come from a big line. She has a lot of importance running through her veins. But she is something called a jinn, which is a kind of like mythical being where they have like powers, and they used to really have a lot of power and prevalence in the world where they are, but they have basically been repressed by the humans. She basically has to live a life of secret, not telling people who she really is and what her birthright really is. But of course, there is a romance in this book with a prince who is a human prince called Cameron, and they have their own kind of journey together, and basically you can expect lots of intrigue, a lot of magical goings on, and of course a really intriguing fantasy world. I did find that this wasn't the most fleshed out, but I am relieved to know that this is part of a trilogy. So I do actually think that hopefully the next few books will be more impactful for me, because I really just struggled with this one, like actually understanding the world and feeling like I was part of it and knowing the characters. So I didn't mean for this to turn into a mini review, but it has. But I did buy this beautiful edition, and I will kind of keep this as part of my collection because it's just a beautiful book. Okay, the next book was kindly sent to me from Tor, who are an imprint of Pan Macmillan. So this is A Taste of Gold and Iron by Alexandra Rowland, and this is publishing on the 23rd of June 2022. So this is a beautiful fantasy book, and it says, to save their kingdom will they sacrifice their hearts, and it's described as a delicious tangle of romance, fealty and dangerous politics. And I believe this is a LGBT fantasy book, so I think there is actually a bodyguard romance in this, which I am super intrigued by, and I just can't wait to read this. I think it sounds like a really good time, you know what I mean? Like a really fun fantasy book, but with a romance at its heart, which is of course my favorite type of romance. So I'm really intrigued by this. This is publishing on the 23rd of June, so thank you to Pan Macmillan for kindly sending this one my way. Okay, the next book that Pan Macmillan sent me, I cannot believe how lucky I am because this proof is one of my most anticipated books of the year. It is The House of Fortune by Jessie Burton. This is the sequel to The Miniaturist. I adored The Miniaturist so much. It had everything I love in a book. A, it was historical fiction. B, it had a kind of magical realist element to it. And those are just my favorite types of books, like magical historical fiction. So this book actually follows the daughter of Marin, who is the main character's kind of sister-in-law in the first book. It follows her journey to adulthood as she really wants to marry and settle down and have a life of her own, basically, because her own kind of upbringing is a bit chaotic and her family argue a lot and everything like that. So she just wants to be outside of the family home. And this basically highlights from the blurb that the miniaturist from the first book returns. And of course, if you read The Miniaturist, you know that whole kind of, you know, like, it's not fully explained who the miniaturist is, like why they have the powers that they do. And I'm just super excited. This is described as a glorious sweeping story of fate and ambition, secrets and dreams, and one young woman's determination to rule her own destiny. I mean, wow, this sounds fantastic. So thank you to Pam Macmillan for kindly sending this one my way. I can't wait to read The House of Fortune very soon. And this one is publishing in July. Okay, I recently got sent the most exciting bundle from Hotkey Books, and let me just show you guys what was in this bundle. So it came like this. Obviously it came in a box, but like, these are all the things inside the box. It came with a little pack of tissues, which says Family of Liars on it. It says, open this envelope only after reading Family of Liars, which I think is a really cool touch. And it came with other lovely bits and pieces, but this is the sequel of We Were Liars. So We Were Liars is one of my favorite YA books. It's super brilliant, it's super short, but it's also the most like crazy book you will read. Like the reveal, can we talk about that? It is just amazing. And I read this years and years ago, and I never thought that E. Lockhart would bring out a sequel or kind of a book in their universe, I guess, because I think this is a prequel to We Were Liars, and it focuses on like the parents, I think, of the kids in the first book, and it's called Family of Liars. So I'm not going to go too much into this because obviously I think like if you haven't read We Were Liars, you don't really want to know probably what this is about, but it follows the kind of secret keeping, shall I say, of that family and kind of the wealth and everything. So I'm super excited to read this book. This is publishing on the 4th of May, so very soon, and I can't wait to read this and find out more. I think it's going to be a super short book, so maybe I will read We Were Liars again first and just try and refresh myself, because I think that would be a really good way to do it. So thank you to Bonnier and Hotkey Books for kindly sending this beautiful box of goodies my way. The next book was kindly sent to me from Pam Macmillan, and this is the new book by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, who is one of my favourite authors. Her worlds, her writing is just pure magic, and I just love her writing style so much. So this is another adult book. It is called The Dance Tree, and how beautiful is this proof, by the way? Like, wow, it is stunning. So this one is set in an era of superstition, hysteria and extraordinary change, inspired by the true events of a doomed summer. The Dance Tree is an impassioned story of family secrets, forbidden love and women pushed to the edge. So this is actually set in Strasbourg in 1518. In the midst of a blisteringly hot summer, a lone woman begins to dance in the city square. She dances for days without pause or rest, and soon she is joined by hundreds of others. This sounds really interesting, and I love historical fiction, as you guys know, so I actually think, wow, this could be fantastic. This is publishing on the 12th of May, coming really soon, and I can't wait to read this one as well. The next book was kindly gifted to me from Simon & Schuster Books. This one is Vespa Team by Margaret Rogerson. So I have read one book by Margaret Rogerson, and that was An Enchantment of Ravens, I think, which was kind of like a fantasy romance, I guess. It was like a fairy romance. And this one, I think, is quite different, because I think this one is supposed to not have any romance in it. So it's described as an enthralling new series from the New York Times bestselling author of Sorcery of Thorns, which I do have up there, and I have not read it. So maybe I should read Sorcery of Thorns first and then Vespa Team. But this is about these beings called Grey Sisters, a nun who cleanses the bodies of the deceased so that their souls can pass on. Otherwise, they will rise as spirits with a ravenous hunger for the living. And it's about a character called Artemisia who has to deal with these, basically. Her convent is attacked by possessed soldiers. Artemisia defends it by awakening an ancient spirit bound to a saint's relic. It is a revenant, a malevolent being that threatens to possess her the moment she drops her guard. And basically it talks about how her bond with this revenant grows as she has to unravel this mystery. So this sounds incredible, and it's also part of a series, so I feel like that is just perfect for me. I really love a series, and I want to read Vespa Team like ASAP. Can I just like ditch my current read and read Vespa Team, please? Because wow, it sounds amazing. The cover itself is beautiful. I'm happy. I really want to read this like as soon as I can. The next book I actually bought because I was in Waterloo Station. Obviously I live in London, I work in London, and on my way home I was like, I'm just gonna pop into Foyles in Waterloo Station to see what they have. Big mistake, because of course I came away with a book. This is obviously the biggest TikTok sensation ever. It is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. The reason why I picked this book up is because I actually have been sent a very exciting book, which is Ali Hazelwood's second book, which is called Love on the Brain, and I'll talk about this proof in a second. But first I wanted to talk about The Love Hypothesis, Ali Hazelwood's breakout book, which features a kind of like fake dating trope, I believe. So I love the fake dating trope, and it's about a scientist and a PhD student, I think, which it just sounds so perfect. I also heard that this is like a Kylo Ren Rey inspired book, and that in itself just intrigues me more than anything because I ship them so much. I have issues. So I'm super excited about The Love Hypothesis. I really want to read this first, and then I'm going to get onto Love on the Brain, because this is Ali Hazelwood's second book that is publishing on the 23rd of August. First off, I received these absolutely beautiful postcards with it. So it's like women in STEM, which we love, a beautiful bookmark, and just like another little pamphlet. So this was very, very kindly sent to me from Sphere. So thank you to Casey for kindly sending me this. I am so grateful because this is a beautiful hardback proof copy. Like, look at this. I don't even know if you can really see how beautiful this is, but it is beautiful. The fact that it says enemies to lovers in really big font on the back, I'm already on board with this. Like, enemies to lovers is my favorite trope of all time. If you want to know more about my favorite tropes in romance, I will leave a link to a video down below that I did recently about my favorite romance tropes. So enemies to lovers is my favorite, and this one is about Bea, who is offered a job at NASA. And the only issue with this is that her new colleague Levi is like really evil, and she hates him. They hate each other, and apparently they met in grad school, so they already know each other, and he made his feelings about her very well known, that he hated her essentially. And let's just say when they're working together at NASA, like, the relationships are stirring. So I adore the sound of this already. I'm super excited that like romance like this is really having its day again, because it's about time. Like, romance is amazing, and I'm super excited to read this book, which is coming out in August. The next book I was kindly sent from Hodder and Stoughton, and that is This Vicious Grace by Emily Theed. So This Vicious Grace immediately piqued my interest because this just sounds like my type of book to a T. So on the back it says, number 1, choose a font. Number 2, do not kill them. Number 3, amplify their magic to save everyone and everything on Saverio, which I think is like the country, or become the first to die. So that sounds really intriguing. And then it says, her gift can save or it can kill. Alessa's gift is supposed to magnify a partner's magic, not kill every suitor she touches. With only weeks left until demons devour her island home, Alessa is running out of time to find a partner and stop the invasion. But when a powerful priest convinces the faithful that killing Alessa is their only hope, she hires cynical outcast Dante as her personal bodyguard. As rebellion swells, Alessa realizes Dante could be the one person who can help her master her gift, or who might destroy her once and for all. This is a bodyguard romance, and there are kind of like all the bodyguard romances happening right now. but I am so excited by this book. It sounds so good. This one is publishing on the 28th of June, and I really want to get to this one soon. This one in particular sounds fantastic. Okay, the next book was kindly sent to me from Hotkey Books, and it is When Women Were Dragons, and this one is by Kelly Barnhill. So this one says, America 1955. In a world that keeps women small, what happens when they rise up? Oppressed, unleashed, reborn. Women take flight. This is a YA book, I think, that is about when women literally turn to dragons, and personally that sounds fantastic. It says it's the first YA novel by Kelly Barnhill. It's a sweeping, magnetic feminist tale set in 1950s America, exposing a world that wants to keep girls and women small and examines what happens when they rise up. So that sounds like absolutely amazing, and the cover itself is like really beautiful, and I'm super keen for this. I love like a feminist YA, especially when there's like a fantasy element involved, like a dragon. Sign me up, you know. Then we are almost finished, guys, I promise. We have a book that was kindly sent to me from Galance. This is The Collar Bound by Rebecca Zahabi. So this book featured in my most anticipated books of 2022 video. Again, we'll leave link down below. But this one sounds absolutely awesome, and this is publishing in May 2022. So this is a fantasy debut, I believe, and on the back it says, as the world faces rebellion and chaos, two people, one an escaped slave and one a mage without memories, will discover that their pasts are entwined and their futures destined to collide. The reason why I put this on my most anticipated, because it says it's aimed at fans of magical brink of war settings, like those of the Poppy War or the City of Brass. I love the Poppy War series so much, and the fact that this is described as like a brink of war setting really intrigues me. So this is The Collar Bound. It sounds incredible. Put it on your list, and hopefully I'll be reading this one soon as well. The next book I really wanted to talk about, which was kindly sent to me from Pan Macmillan again, is Vladimir, and this one is by Julia May Jonas. So it's basically, this one is a provocative, razor-sharp and timely debut novel about a beloved English teacher as she faces a slew of #MeToo accusations against her professor husband from his former students. A situation that becomes even more complicated when she develops a sexual obsession of her own. So yeah, this sounds like really dark and quite like conversation starting, shall we just say. It also sounds amazing, and it's been getting a lot of hype, a lot of conversation. This one is publishing in May 2022. Finally, we're on to the last book. I just wanted to share quickly the next two books, which are the same book, because of course I just buy the same book. This is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. So first off, I kindly got sent a proof copy from Titan Books. So thank you to Titan for kindly sending me this beautiful proof. But it also came with like a load of incredible things, like this beautiful artwork, which this artwork is actually featured in the book itself. So every chapter, I think, like starts with some gorgeous artwork, which Titan have like printed and sent to me, which is amazing. The proof copy also came with these badges, and I don't know if you can see them very well, but look how cool these are, like these Gallant badges. This one goes like this, I think. So it's like represents the cover. It is super cool, like, oh my god, thank you guys for sending me all these goodies. And then I also pre-ordered the Waterstone special edition because it's super beautiful. So this is the special edition. Look at these sprayed edges, like I'm a huge fan. And then also, even better, and then we have like the naked book itself, which is super beautiful. The end pages, which are amazing, and this book is also signed by Victoria Schwab. So huge fan of this special edition. I knew I had to get it, like even though I hadn't read it yet. So I have two copies now, and I'm actually currently reading this, and I'm not very far in, but if you haven't seen my latest reading vlog yet, I talk about this in that reading vlog, so do check that out. That's it, guys. We've come to the end of the longest video ever. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and I really hope you enjoyed this book haul. Don't forget to check out my link below to access the Ana Luisa sale for Mother's Day in the US. Also, if you're in the UK or around the world, get yourself a little treat. If you need to get a gift for someone, it's a really good opportunity. So don't forget to click that link. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and Twitter. I will leave my links down below because I post about books a lot on those channels as well. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon in a new video. Bye.